I need to figure out how to do a fucking what do you call it? An intro. They'll be on the next. Thing to do is how to do that, but I don't want to pay people. I don't want to pay humans. I want to pay AI guys only. So I feel pretty confident and comfortable after using a specific service that turns your Monero into a debit card, like your Monero into fiat, and you can use it pretty much as you wish. I will be doing a more in-depth video review at, soon, trademark. But I wanted to go over my experience with purchasing SIM cards with Monero, trying to stay as private as possible. An interesting, I would say, an interesting thing that happened when I used one SIM provider, and I don't know if it's uniformic around the rest. And definitely we'll be doing a review on JMP chat at some point too. Essentially, where is it? It's weird. What sucks is like JMP chat doesn't accept Monero just like out of the gate. It's kind of lame. But I do think that it's important to understand that it might come at some point if people like poke them enough. They're like, "Hey, do it. Just do it, man." I would say, where's their site? It sucks that some of these sites don't have a onion domain. I wish they kind of did. I remember Stealth used to actively give a real phone number, but I think that ended. But the price is pretty good. What I do like about Stealth is it doesn't. They do everything on the order page. The one that I used, I believe, required. The one I used, I believe, required an email address. So that does kind of suck. I didn't really. It just said email for delivery, so I assume that that's. Oh, nice. Tuda is working on Drive based. So Sims Up is definitely an interesting way to do it. It does work. I verified the data speeds are quite okay. They're quite well. It is cheap. It cost me like about €5. So whatever that is in fucking US dollars. And go here. It's kind of interesting because it's a data only, but it picks a completely different country for the network, and that's kind of cool. So I wouldn't say it's like a VPN or anything, but it's when I look up my own IP address on there, I was like, oh, that's not where I'm supposed to be. That's interesting. And it's kind of cool. Again, I wouldn't consider it a VPN, but it's your device, whatever ASN I believe it connected to. It was like, oh, awesome. So it took about an hour for the entire process to complete, from sending to deliver to actively working, which is kind of good. The pricing is pretty based, $4 for like a gig for like a week for 7 days of use. So if you only use a gig, that's kind of awesome. Now I don't know, they don't give a number, like an actual phone number, so you can't really use this for Signal. It's data only. But what does work, and what does work for Signal and other services, is 100%. I've had good success rate is Silent Link. Silent Link's just fucking expensive. That's its biggest drawback. It's like $100. And that's not like it's expensive in the sense that it's not expensive in the sense that like that's a lot of money for 12 months. Like it's expensive because some people might not have $100, and that's okay. I don't think people should be priced out of getting a number anonymously. Now there's only one thing is Silent Link is SMS verifications in, no calling out, no texting people. You know what I mean? Like you can't use it. But you can use it for signal verification, so you can text your friends in an end-to-end encrypted way. I think I paid like around like $115. The data depends. It uses a roaming scheme. So like Verizon is so many dollars per gig, because you give it a certain amount of money, and then when you go over that data, it uses it. And I wish I would have updated this title to. I should have done this title as feature phones aren't the answer, because I do see a lot of people talk about feature phones. I don't think they're also the answer to our constant surveillance problem. Feature phones have like less security, and they're also like far worse when it comes to updates, and SMS authentication is pretty bad. So most definitely something that I think about when I use these services is like, wouldn't it just be easier to just buy like a $20, $30, talk and text plan and just call it a day? Not really. And I don't think we should be tech fearing. I think we should be tech optimists, so that we can know, so we can have like, so we can strengthen our security, strengthen our anonymity through the technology that's given us. And I think we're going to participate regardless. Normal people are going to participate in the real world. I know tons of people that like they need a smartphone for their job, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's not the point. So if those people are going to need that in order to financially exist and exist in society, it's actually good that we have these products and these placements in order to increase people's privacy and security. So SMS pool, definitely. SMS ups, Sims ups is really good, very based. I think they do a good job. Another good contender that I'm going to look at is Beyond Stealths is Wait, was it cards dot xmr, and then bit refill is another good option. xmr.cards. Now I did have a. You have to be careful with using some of these services if you don't calculate the needs, the network fee, and send the right amount within a period of time. It can fuck up. So always go like $5 to $6 over, just in case. Like go at $2 over. It's worth it. Maybe $3 over, whatever. I've used a lot of these. These are great. You can get country, filter by country. You can get brands. They have good support. They did answer my question when I ran into an issue, and they fixed it. It was pretty based. They're kind of awesome. Bit refill is something I used much longer and for a long time when I wouldn't say a Bitcoin maxi, but I used Lightning a lot because I thought Lightning was more private, and it's really not. But you can get good quality service. They have an app. But you can, same thing. I've tested this. So if you have like a service provider in your regular daily life, and it doesn't, they don't cover like roaming fees, that shit can get expensive. If we just go to, let's say like you're visiting, like no one wants to go to Australia. I would say like 7 days for $2, or I like when they offer more gigs for like certain days. Unlimited 7 days is $79. That's crazy. I would say I would do 5 gigs 30 days if you're going to be there for 2 weeks. Or wait, no, 2 gigs 15 days, $4. It's not bad. What's that? $45? That's not bad. But if you could do 10 gigs, $12 for 10 gigs, it's $130 a year. If you can use it like if you want to go like to the US, let's go US. There's probably a million cheaper. So if you only use like 3 gigs, $7 a month is crazy. What's the most? 5 gigs for 30 days. $10. So $100 a year. You can use Bitcoin, ETH, or crypto, and enjoy stable, high-speed internet access, instant email delivery, no account required to start living on crypto. You can use this to live on crypto, essentially. That's the point, is converting your money to your fiat to Monero or Bitcoin, unfortunately, if you have to, and participate in the economy that rejects the banking system and the ever-growing surveillance capitalism. That's the kind of the problem. And you might even get to the point Charles based. Based Charles Hawkinson, the guy from Ada. The fuck? Wow, nightmare blunt rotation right there. I would say that living on crypto is easier today. Obviously, Bitcoin is Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. All these ones, they're cool, they're cool, but they just don't offer the same. They don't offer the same level of privacy that Monero offers. I mean, it's kind of silly to use anything else if you want to preserve your purchasing privacy, your purchasing power. You don't want people to know like what you're buying. It's I watched a video earlier about Cake wallet at FedCon, BitcoinCon, or whatever you want to call it, and they were doing a drawing for like whatever it was for an amount to win, maybe a prize or whatever. Why would you want to? And I think they showed the person. They're like, yay, everyone's like. Why would you want to show everyone on the internet that you are holding these kind of assets, that you're winning this kind of amount? I think it just defeats the purpose. Obviously, it's a choice, but it not only defeats the purpose, it kind of hurts the integrity of you keeping you. That'd be like winning the lottery and showing your face, which you don't have to. Like, everyone thinks for some reason that when you win the lottery, you have to establish a public figure. You keep that shit to yourself. And the people that publicly like are like, yay, I won millions of dollars. You're retarded. You shouldn't be trusted with money, and that amount of money. If I won an unsettling amount of money, I would disappear. That would be the sign that I won. Actually, I wouldn't do anything. I would just go back to living normal life or something, or I would just do normal shit. I wouldn't let anyone know, though. There would be no signs. The last thing you want people to know is that you have big balls and big pockets. It just seems silly and counterintuitive. That's why I don't own Monero. It's illegal anyways. But you can use Bloomingdale US, Blooming Brands US, Belk, Barnes and Noble, whoever still shops there, the Baby Gap, whoever still shops there. All these dead companies, goddamn. American Express, Abercrombie and Fitch is fucking crazy. It's Olive Garden, whoever goes there still. Renewable AstroPay. I did use one of these prepaid debit cards through this site. It was kind of weird. It was I faked all the information, of course, because it was this XMR cards didn't KYC me, but the debit card company did kind of. They asked a bunch of questions, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fake this. This would be dumb. Let's see if it's got. I wish they had a search. Is their Tor site working now? Their Tor site was not working when I tried. I think they fixed it. Hopefully. Based, they did. I would say travel wise. Yo, Ace Hardware, USA. You know, buy 10 to 15 of these gift cards of stuff that you use constantly. Like, obviously, your rent's a different story. It's not, but there is going to be a way. There is some people that will pay people's rents though. On Bitcoin maxis are terrible. Wonder why. There should be a way to send. There should be a way to send Monero via smartwatch. God, tell me this is real. Sorry, my autism's kicking in. I need to. This looks based. I can't wait to be able to buy guns with Monero. I think that should be illegal already. Someone needs to figure it out. Someone needs to figure out how to buy guns via Monero. Well, technically, I mean, if you're in the U.S. and you do, your state allows like private sales. God, I hate when sites are like, no Tor, no Tor, no Tor. There we go. Hell yeah. Reddit's gonna... Based! Is it real, guys? No, it's not. Oh, this suppressor's probably... And you can't buy it in the U.S. This is some alien looking shit. That's why I want it. Shit you see. Oh my god. Gay, 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 gay. Okay. Oh wow, only $600. Based actually. Thought this shit was gonna be like a grand or two. Oh, is it real? Why do they even have euros? They can't even buy it. Based. Wow, man. Slovenia. Purchase and get 500 bullets, guys. The European mind can comprehend. Oh no, 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 no. Sometimes I hate Tor for this reason. There we go. I wonder if they'll let me still go. They do. I don't care if it's an insecure site. Nice. A suppressor for the Glock 17, 19, and 34 that combines all the advantages of different suppressors into one product. This looks so cool. For a Glock, imagine pulling this out and going schizoid. Very base, very cool. Okay, autism over. Back to Very cool. Yeah, definitely one of the better options that we have for using Monero in public, and one of the cooler ways. Uh, once I get everything, you know, speed, cost, what payments they accept, et cetera, et cetera. I will release my blog about it, and because that's kind of almost done, and also I'm trying to test them as much as possible over the next week, and usability and like length of like them being around, et cetera. It's definitely one of the better options that we have. And I mean, Sims Up has so far been solid. JM chat is going to be the kind of like the you need data. So you need data in order for this to work. Pull up it by itself. I would say even this is a good one. Besides JMP chat, I know they don't accept Monero, but if you want a cheap, absolute, you don't need unlimited data. Tello's dirt cheap, and they're great. I've actually used them for a mobile hotspot that I have, like a physical one. I mean, super. So if you don't need unlimited data, say you want to really save, and you don't need unlimited minutes, for $8, man, $14 a month, I would just go for the 10. It's like 180 or something. Yeah, 168. I'm retarded. 168. Yeah, because if you did the 20, just do the unlimited. I mean, it makes sense. Actually, if you just do the unlimited data, no minutes, it's 25. It's 25 regardless. I would do no minutes because like it'd be kind of silly because you can then, I mean, if you really want unlimited data, but if you're like saving that money, 2 gigs, I would do like 300 minutes. Like who really talks and texts that much? Now, from a security standpoint, there's US Mobile, and then I'm not gonna buy these ones because they don't. Except for I might. Cloaked wireless is pretty fucking expensive, and then there's cloaked. Ooh, $25 a month. Secure 10. 500 megabytes is $45. 60 month is kind of crazy. 20 gigs. You really gotta Bitcoin native option to pay anonymously with secure with Bitcoin. I thought they had what is Secure Max? What is the difference? Oh, you get 60 gigs. Tor browser can't open this page. To protect your security, Mint Mobile will not allow Tor browser to display this page if other sites have embedded. Oh, you can do data. It's kind of nice. I might check these guys out because if they accept Monero, I just don't know. Oh, they do. So I will check these guys out because they have a data only plan. Three gigs. So, and they accept Monero. Based. Okay. Optional email address. I'm gonna definitely put these guys on my radar. Kind of cool. They have an affiliate program. These guys are fucking expensive though. I'm going to become an affiliate only blog. This is cool. They don't pay out in Monero, so no. But super cool. I'll test these guys next too. US Mobile is another one that's super cheap. And they let's see what they did. Oh, nope, I've been blocked. Yeah, US Mobile is pretty cheap. I mean, unlimited plan, talk text as low as $17 per month, less than $50 a month. Buy the gig. The $2 per network transfer fee is something I don't get. So I'm trying to think of like relatively. I think this is and maybe I will post a blog about this. Like services that people pay for online. Okay, the most common services. Let's see. Retail goods, clothing, groceries, streaming services, software subscriptions such as Adobe Create, game, ebooks, monthly bills, payments for electricity, water, and internet service, flights, hotels. How do you subscription service compared to pricing and features? I would see. I want to. People pay. People. The most common service people pay for. That would be the question I should ask. Common services that people pay for include cleaning services, personal. God damn it. That's true. 50 subscriptions most Americans are paying for right now. Netflix. Peacock, Costco, the fuck? Searx. Who the fuck still pays for Searx? Instacart. I'm assuming people are paying for the most, whatever. Okay. Probably cell phone bill. Internet. Probably like Netflix. Unfortunately, you should pirate it anyways. Cell phone bill, internet, Netflix, food. Gas. I would say I'm just gonna put. These are needs. You need a cell phone. Internet, Netflix. Yeah, that's not a need. Food, rent / they're two different. I can't spell mortgage because I'm retarded. Rent / mortgage. And utility bills. Okay. And then how to use Monero to pay for these things. I would say this is under the needs category. Then the wants would be like travel. I would say utility bills. I'm just going to put that in its own category. And then car / insurance. And then I would say like healthcare. Healthcare's got to be one of those. And once would be email you can get for free. Travel. I guess entertainment sub like entertainment subscriptions, like i.e. Netflix, Spotify, what's the other one? Peacock. Demonetized. So like these are probably like the most common. Highly doubt the average person is getting fucking HelloFresh, even though you see nothing but ads about it. Let's do this. Oh, Amazon Prime. That's a huge one. That's its own category. How do you use Monero Pay for these things? Let's look at the average cost across the board. Average cost in the U.S. Damn it, I can't spell. Ooh. The average cost of a car insurance in the U.S. is $1,000 every 6 months, which breaks down to $181 per month. This represents 18 from the previous year. So let's do that. Let's do. God damn, I hate when it does that. We'll look at narrow price. Average card note. I would say utilities, utility bills / gas. We're going to put gas, water, gas, car, gas, water, gas home, and then electricity. Rent, mortgage, and then car note if you have one. Oh, I already got that. Car note / insurance. Because like living in America without a car is probably a nightmare. The average car payment is $537 for used cars as of 2026. So, let's see. The car is $536, and then the insurance is $181. Average cell phone bill in America is $141 per month, which is decreased. That's a fucking crazy bill, by the way. Maybe I should put $. $141 a month. I'm just doing averages, guys. Don't get irated. Don't get mad. It's okay. And these are averages. Obviously, you can be less. Average rent in the U.S. These could be like $2,000. That's a slight decrease. Rent 2K is crazy. Obviously, if you live in a crazy state, don't comment. Average mortgage payment in the US is about 2K. So guys, if you're paying $2,000 for rent, buy a fucking house. And anyone who says that you need, let's see what the Monero price is right now. No wonder people are fucking debt. That's crazy. I guess USDD 384. That's kind of nice. So that's the average Monero price. And this could be kind of fabricated. Prepaid plans are generally cheaper than postpaid plans. Unlimited data plans tend to be more expensive than limited data plans. Major carriers often charge higher rates compared to mobile virtual networks. Financing a phone can add $20 to $40 more to the bill. Look, you guys don't need the newest iPhone. Just chill. And use Wi-Fi everywhere. Damn. Ooh. Let's see, electricity bill, $163 a month. Damn. 203 Hawaii is crazy. I'd be smoking crack before I do that. So we're just gonna do like 130, I guess. We'll do electricity 130. Let's do like 43. Let's do like 50. Water bills aren't generally that high. Still kind of crazy. Gas is generally cheap. Not every house is do gas. But $100 a month? That's kind of crazy. Let's see, gas, car. Better at that EV. $6. $4. God damn. What's the most expensive? California asking $6 for gas is goddamn communism if I've ever seen that motherfucker. The lowest price is $3 in Georgia, but no one ever wants to fucking live there. A bunch of crackheads. I mean, $3 is probably crazy to them. The fact that it's almost $4. Yikes. Yeah, damn diesel being $4 in blue states. That's got over here in the red states. It's in motherfucking Texas $3. Oh, they goddamn there. New York being $4. That's crazy. Michigan $4.81. So I don't know what the fuck Wisconsin doing. Oh, Florida $4.23. It's been $4.23 for like 40 years or something. Washington $5. That is crazy. Oil prices spike, national average up nearly 30 cents in 1 week, and do that per gallon. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Average new vehicle payments in the U.S. Okay, $200 a month. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot. We'll say $150. It's probably more. $370. Derm. Let's do $275. We'll meet the medium. We'll do like 60. It's not bad. And then Netflix is like what, $8? We'll do the $16. I think that's what most people probably pay for. They don't want ads. Spotify is like $13. Peacock is like $10. Amazon Prime is like $20, I think. Travel is probably $2,000. The meme, like, guys, why can't I afford anything? It's like, what's the issue? And it's like, OnlyFans subscription, $3,000, like 30 grand or something. Okay. Damn, this is a lot. This is why America's so goddamn expensive. I don't know how people live here. All these boomers are fucking smoking crack if they think I can afford this. Like, even if you add up the bare minimum, it's kind of crazy. 141. 60 plus 275 plus 2,000. I'd kill myself if these were my prices. 150. No wonder everyone's door dashing. Healthcare is probably like an average of like $200 a month. I forgot to do that, but I know it's. You need $3,882 to live. This is why I don't have fucking all these subscriptions, because like I would kill myself even over $10, $16, $10, $13, $20. I mean, what you should do is fucking get your money up and not your funny up. We're going to say a healthy $4,000 to live in the U.S. To cover just this. This is just to live. If you're not splurging. And you want buffer. You don't even want this to be this. Obviously, when your car's paid off, you can lower your insurance. I mean, like, so the average Monero, you would need 11 Monero. I would say 15 Monero, probably like $6,000. You always want like a 2 to 3K buffer between your operating cost and like, I mean, this is for like emergencies and putting money aside. I would say actually a good 17 Monero, 60. Let's just do 20. 20 Monero to survive in Burgerland, America, in Freedomville. Because after you minus like, say you got $7,000. I'm not saying like this is for obviously everyone. $7,000. Let's clear all this. Let's say you make 7 after tax. You're left with $3,000. That's. Let's say this is after tax. You're left with $36,000 a year. That's not a lot of money to fuck around and find out. So I would start paying for stuff in Monero, like Um. Ooh. There. Oopsies. I fucked up. Damn. Did it stay? It didn't. So let's say total cost. $4,000. How can Monero pay for this? Well, first I would pay my rent. Probably, I would first get the cost of my cell phone bill down. That's $140. You could switch to the super based awesome option. If your phone's paid off and like don't need a new one, just purchase from like Bitrefill, Stealth, Sims Up, any of the providers where you can get minimal data. And if your work can get a hold of you, you can just do a VoIP. I mean, like for your work to get a hold of you. If you want the cheapest VoIP option, what's their name? MySudo. So, like, say we got four grand to deal with. MySudo. Now, if you use Graphene OS, you have to activate MySudo on like a regular phone. Say you're working, and it's kind of like your only option. We're gonna convert the phone. So they give you Sudogo for free, no phone number. $20 a year, one Sudo phone number, 100 messages, 30 minutes a month. I would just do $50, 300 messages, 200 minutes a month. That's pretty reasonable. That's enough to get through the work week. They do Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, United States. They did comply with the United Kingdom's request to do ID verification, which was very gay of them, but they're a company, whatever. MySudo based. And then all you need is data. So then let's see if we can do a sick budget. So $5. We have $4 grand to work with. We'll do $5 a month. And then Sims Up is great. Technically, Lightning Bitcoin, Silent Link. Silent Link is better. Silent Link is 115 divided by 12. Divided by 12. So $10 a month. That's still pretty expensive. So you're looking at $15. We're already at $15. I mean, to cut your electric bill, you just have to use minimal. But how do you pay it? Let's go to Bitrefill. And this goes beyond impulse spends, whatever. Bitrefill. Let's see. if you have electric, if you have gas, it's definitely an option. But we're gonna when we get to the end, we're gonna have a option for everything, like where like you can kind of like go anywhere. So let's see. So there's some electricity. So you could just get a prepaid MasterCard. You gotta be careful with these. I've used them. They're kind of fucked. They have limitations. So let's say your gas bill is, what was the average? Like with the electric, 75, and then the gas, probably like 35, depending on the year. So you're at 125. I would buffer for 2 months, 185 USD, $185. That's a little bit of buffer, so you could do like a month and a half. So you would take these, put them on auto pay, and then you're using, you're buying these in bulk. So 125. Let's look for prepaid internet. You want to do as many no KYC options as you have. Xfinity does it. $30 a month for 200 megabytes. So you're now cutting your internet bill. You get a prepaid card, and you're at $30 a month. So let's now add 20 plus 10 because I'm retarded. You're at 155. Your rent, same thing. Prepaid card is a little bit harder because your rent and mortgage, most of the time they require a bank account, or you got to connect it, your stuff. You got to connect your stuff to it. Which is not the best option. It's really not the best option because you're kind of bound to handing over your financial data and information. If you are base enough to get a super cool landlord or mortgage broker or lender or whatever, and you have the ability to pay in Monero, you can. So right now, 155, you just need half a Monero, practically. You need not only half a Monero, you need half a Monero that you probably already own, and that's super cool. You can just send it, it will work. Okay, and then let's look at XMR cards. Let's see. Travel, electronics, fashion, gaming, brands. Let's look at food delivery. That's a huge one that a lot of the Zoomers will pick. Burlington and Burlington. You could do DoorDash. So say you do DoorDash, you could put like, I would say a Visa card, and cut that budget down. I could say you could, even with a family of 4, you could do it for $230 bucks. 100%. You gotta make some sacrifices. Sacrifice is fine in the short term. Long term, obviously, make the right decision. So we're at 230. You would just get another prepaid Visa card. You get your CVS, your crate, Barrel Crate, Dave and Buster's. I don't know who still eats there. GameStop, GetGo, and stuff like that. Now, this is where the hard part comes in. When you start getting into the not the subscription, but like the very aggressive like companies. The aggressive companies that are like, oh, you need to use this type of payment. And that's generally going to be your rent, your electricity, your mortgage, whatever. There's kind of a way. There is something called, for like everything else, like you could kind of get away with all these services. You can kind of get away with a Monero on a prepaid perspective. It's very easy to understand, it's very easy to use, and it's very base and cool. But what about for the things where you just need cash, or you just need to use a debit card? Goblin Card is the first, as far as I'm aware of, is the only non KYC physical card. I have used it. I appreciate it. Their customer service is based. They're pretty transparent. The reason I didn't tell people could probably figure it out, but the reason I didn't tell people and I didn't promote it or tell people this is awesome, use this, is because I don't know the company. They're not paying me to say this or do anything or even discuss it. They're not paying me, but they're not cheap. They're expensive. They're $350 just to order it. That is the price that you're going to pay. That's a steep fee. From my perspective, it's a fee. You can label it as whatever you want. $350 one-time payment. It's a fee. You get a physical MasterCard, which you do. You get a non-KYC registration, the only physical non-KYC card on the market. 0% FX fees, no foreign transaction fees, 0% ATM withdrawal fees, $5,000 a day, multi-currency support. They charge you 4% to use Monero. Personal Telegram support, direct secure support included. I don't like that they use Telegram. And a 3.5% deposit rate, 4% for Monero. 7 days worldwide shipping. I got this much faster than that. Very based of them. Very cool. Very awesome. The problem is there's two issues that come across with the Goblin card. First issue. They don't clearly explain after you do the activation, and I've had other people bring this up to me and verify it. They don't explain how to do the no KYC registration. They don't explain you don't do registration. You don't register. Second issue. They said there was going to be an Android app. There is no Android app. I know that seems silly, but don't put on your website that this is a date, that this is going to be released, that this is a thing. It's kind of like false advertising. It's alluding to a false advertisement, which could be in the consumer's eyes kind of negative and not good. I think Goblin Card's great. I've used them. I appreciate them. Their support's great. I had an issue with the deposit, where I was trying to get to do the new deposit scheme, and they're like, oh, this is it. Very awesome. But beyond the lack of Android app and the fact that they use Telegram, it's really an awesome product, and you can buy pretty much anything. They have a restrictive list, and the list is like, you can't buy this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, that's fine. But in reality, it's like the closest thing you get to walking into an establishment and being like, here's my Monero, accept it. So what you do is you deposit your fiat, XYZ or whatever it is, and after you deposit it, you pretty much just use the card as normal. It's kind of based. And because you got the ability to use it anywhere, like a debit card minus the restrictions, you kind of nice. It's a 5K day limit, 25K a month spending, $500 daily ATM withdrawal limit, multi-currency spending, personal Telegram support. Their support's excellent. It gives me very clean, understandable support and vibes. It's based. The 4% kind of sucks, and then 7 days worldwide delivery. After I got it, I used it immediately. After I deposited the Monero, I used it immediately. It was great. I love it. I definitely recommend people, if they want a normal experience with Monero to fiat transactions, for now, this is the option. There are going to be obviously better options in the future. There's going to be options where you don't need a battery. And it's pretty awesome of them to offer this service. They were also like very transparent about it. It was a specific, not a concern, but a specific thing that happened. And they're like, hey, this is how I would go about it. Like, you shouldn't do this. And I listened and it was awesome. And it's very base of them to even do that. Do you have a complete list of these payment options? No, but I will make in my blog that's coming out probably in the next like 1 to 2 days. It will have a complete list of options that I've personally used, and not only personally used, but have consistently used. That's a difference. Anyone can use a product like once or twice, and that once or twice might not add up to I would say valid, consistent reporting in a sense. Goblin Card for now is a very good option. I think, not a problem. I think $350 is a steep fee, but it's the price you pay for no KYC. And I think that if people want to, even 40 to 50% of their life converted to Monero, that is, in my opinion, a win. Having someone convert 50% of their purchasing power, or even 20% of their purchasing power to Monero, is a win. It allows people to reject the bank. I understand the pricing. Yeah, I understand I get their pricing. Their pricing makes complete sense. It's just a very steep fee for a company that people don't know. They kind of took an L. They kind of didn't deliver their promise on the Android app, but they have a bot now through Telegram that I have tested more than once, where I have made deposits with it, and I appreciate it, which is awesome. I think it's a great feature. I've done small deposits, large deposits left and right. So it's definitely one of the cleanest. Now the maintenance of it is pretty expensive. It's like $100 every 3 years. So what do I receive you receive a physical? You're paying $350 for the card. Now it is in pesos. I think you can change it. Quote me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me. No monthly fees, no ATM fees, no FX fees, no physical card, and then 4% for Monero. They do have a simple X support, which is pretty based. Um, you're not going to get much better than this. They have I think they talk about their like every time it needs to be renewed, it does get replaced. Like every renewal is like $100 every 3 years. That's pretty nice. I mean, like you can't really beat that. Except Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, XMR, and UDST. Which XMR is the best one to use, do you think? My personal take, Feather Wallet. Hardware wallet would probably be so long-term storage and general use. Honestly, hardware wallet. I know a lot of people have they're like angry for hardware wallets. They think they're inconvenient and gay, but they offer the best security and they offer relatively the most convenience. You don't have to leave your house to use Monero. This whole like idea that you just need to exit your house and walk up to a terminal and tap your phone, that's great and all and great in theory, but I like the idea of just using Monero without having to do any of that. That is more convenient. You not leaving your house, you not having to talk to a merchant, you not having to expose any really operational security failures. This might be a controversial or like a hot perspective or take or whatever. I just don't really see it that way. I think that it's actually better. And Feather Wallet is one of the few based wallets that's not integrating swaps. I know swap integration is this like very sexy idea, but in my opinion, that is taking away from me and putting the trust of that swap into the hands of the wallet. I just don't agree with that. I think freedom is one of the most important things to humans, and I believe that humans should be able to choose if they want swaps or not, and you should be able to choose your own swap. So far, Feather Wallet hasn't done any swap integration. I know swap integration is very sexy to like the average user, but once you realize that they're choosing the swap, not you, and everyone could make this argument that like, oh, just turn it off. Well, why did you choose the swap? What is the intention? What is the purpose? If the purpose is, oh, because they're decentralized, well, let me pick that. Let me choose that. Why do you need to choose that? You should just make a wallet and stop adding unnecessary bloat and integrations that nobody asked for. Maybe even even if 50% of people asked for swap integration. Let's even go on like a hypothetical democracy side. It's not necessarily sovereign or siloed in any form. You are choosing for the user what swap you want to integrate, and you are choosing for the user the level of trust that you trust the swap. So I think that wallets that don't integrate this are generally on the higher priority side. And if it's not really the swap integration perspective, Feather Wallet allows you to work in Tails OS for a higher level of security and privacy. Or if you want to be super based, you would run your Tails, Feather Wallet in Cubase OS to achieve superior isolation, and you can actually run it in Unix for better privacy. And if you want to go a step further, you can just run your own node. I like it. On a mobile side, Monero 1... I will agree that Monero 1 has brought a feature that everyone should have on the base wallet is the syncing. The syncing in Monero 1 is very good. I mean, Joe has done a good job at listening to the community. I don't necessarily like the idea of swap integration. I don't care if Thorchain or Thorballs is saying that they're decentralized, and I'm using heavy quotes with that, because once it becomes undecentralized or chain exchanges hands, or the code becomes rogue, or the owners end up becoming like super gays. What's your take on all these hardware and software backdoors? Monero and Tails OS is still great, so like, what is there to do? I mean, Intel Management System isn't really a backdoor, it's a utility, if that's what you're referring to. I'm going to assume, I guess. I mean, like, I'll finish my last thought. I think Monero 1's wallet is the best option when it comes to syncing. I think that should be adopted everywhere. It's based. Thorchain has a swap service, but I don't know if they deliver on it or not. I'm just not a fan of Thorchain, to be completely honest. I'm not sold on it. It's cool. It sounds cool, but it doesn't mean that I'm sold on the idea of it. When you look at a software side, like when you look at the software side, like Intel Management System, your ISP, your hardware, I mean, you could take any software and say like, oh, there's been a compromise, you shouldn't really trust it. But like, why do you trust the monitor you're using? How do you know your mouse hasn't been compromised? It's just a level of uncertainty I think people have. And because software is a very complex thing and people aren't going to look through all the software code and all the problems, all the issues, and all the things that exist, it doesn't necessarily mean that we should avoid tech. I'm a techno optimist. I think tech is great, and I think you need to trust that, like, to a certain degree, that the community has your best interest, especially if you align in like certain values. If your values are free and open source, if your values are making sure that this code isn't doing anything that I wouldn't want on it, so the possibility of it somebody else wanting it is pretty low, if not zero. So like, if you have the same philosophy, if this philosophy is carried over throughout the free and open source, it is a pretty good determination that this isn't going to be rogue or something that you should be worried about. But you have to take that with a grain of salt to a certain degree. You have to also come to the conclusion that this isn't for like this like software and quote unquote backdoor isn't really a threat. This is where you have to have a threat model. If it's not a threat, then maybe you shouldn't care. Oh, Monerica is great. XMR Bazaar is up, still up. Uh, Monerica is a very good. I think Monerica is a good directory, and it's a good. It's like KYC, not me. It's a way for people to discover platforms and products and services that respect your privacy. I've talked to Monerica. I think they're great. This isn't like a glaze or like a paid thought process or anything. I just think they're a very sound place in Monero. I think they have good insight. And they definitely understand the Monero ecosystem more than probably a lot of businesses that operate on the Monero ecosystem. XMR Bazaar XMR Bazaar is based. I like KYC Not Me. KYC.NotMe is a great site. I think if I'm worried about getting phished or on the wrong domain name, I just go to them. I bookmark them. They're a good service to have too when it comes to Monero. There's a lot of scams out there, and I think people need to be aware of them. It's just not an easy thing to look up at a domain especially if you have typo squatting. How do I know this is goblincards.com? How do I know that's the real website? So when you have trusted sources, make sure that you are going to the trusted place. I technically have bought stuff at a period of time where I thought I was being phished because of how long it took. You kind of have to trust the Monero ecosystem. If a business out there takes the risk of hurting its customers, doing fraudulent activity, they lose their business model, and their perspective. So I would say that Monero is definitely easy to live on. When you have Goblin Card, when you have places like Bit Refill, where you can make like purchases with gift cards, when you have XMR cards, when you have all these resources available to you, where you can do stuff ahead of time, you can maybe adjust like your budget, where you're like, oh, I'm saving hundreds of dollars a month because I'm doing this. It's kind of nice. So we're definitely in the era where like Monero value can outweigh the dollar, where the dollar is like obviously losing us money versus Monero where it's gaining us money. But Monerica is a really good platform, and so is XMR Bazaar. I've used both. I think they're really invested in the Monero space, and that's what I like. Wow, based. Super cool. Well, guys, I've given an hour and 30 minutes of my time so that YouTube knows that I'm a real person and I love all of their policies. I don't hate a single one. Actually, I think they should invoke more. Fuck you, Jay. I'm going to bed, man. What's up? I hope that you, the viewer, also comments and watches the video so that not only YouTube knows I'm a real person, but I also like to go out and drink beer and talk on the internet because it's super cool and base. No more of my time. No, more of my time. I've already said the intro, Jay. God damn it, Jay. All right, I'll stay an entire hour just because you're one of two people that's watching. Alright, I'll stay. God damn it. He said the P word. I've just consumed so much, too many beers that I'm like, well, goddamn, I'm sitting out here, my balls are getting fucking tired. So the Goblin card is definitely pretty base. I've used it in public. There is like a set of restrictions of places that you can and cannot use. And because you can't use them in said places, I'm drinking a 40 based. 40s are pretty based. I do love the 40s. It makes you look cool and it makes you act cool. But the cool thing about the Goblin card is you can pretty much spend it anywhere besides like casinos and I think firearms and a few other places. He's back on live. People do not like gambling, but Ethereum, do you know any gambling with Monero? Like back in the day, Prime Dice and was still a great site. Drinking water unbiased. Although Prime Dice doesn't utilize Monero, but still, and beer as you should. There's a few sites. I'm not a huge fan of gambling because I mean most of the time gambling gambling's generally not a good thing. But if people want to do bad things, that's completely fine. It's their business at the end of the day. I don't think gambling shouldn't be illegal. I mean, just like drugs, I think they should be completely legal. I think if people want to do these things, that's fine. The Fed's left. So there's Monero Blackjack. I need to grab more beer. I'll be right back. Has anyone ever stepped on a Lego? Also, what's your YouTube channel? Yeah, it's the same name. All right, get the beer. My day's been good. Hope you good. Most of the time, gambling is bad. Yes, the Fed left. Yeah, I left to get beer. Yeah, it's not an FBI honeypot at YouTube. I'm also on Rumble and a few other places. Gambling is just not good for the simple fact that most of the time the house is rigged. I mean, it's a rigged system. If gambling was profitable, then people would do it. Same with scratchers. Well, scratchers are more luck than timing. All right, subbing to you. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. So let's see. Let's deal. This is not real Monero. Yeah. I wonder if I could put it in the chat. A link stack. What's his YouTube channel again? I want to sub to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all subs. But I put my link stack so you can find everything like from my all my socials. You should check out Odyssey. I am on Odyssey as well. My problem with Odyssey, I had stopped back when they were in trouble and it added ads, but I'll check it. My problem with thanks Jay. I appreciate you becoming a member for the beer fund. Once there's a place that accepts Monero for beer, it will be super based. My problem with Odyssey is the fact that Odyssey decided to pick a shit cryptocurrency and not incorporate Monero. I mean, it's really retarded. Yeah, wait, they accept Zach? That's gay. I didn't even know that. They just came with a really cringy wallet, and I was just like not a fan of it, and it was pretty lame. The one Sec cracked down on was library was retarded. Yeah, library was retarded. I remember when YouTubers were starting out just 99 cents, and now they are fine. Yeah, that's retarded. I just keep it. I'm just going to keep it. My memberships are always going to be 99 cents. It doesn't matter. Also, Naga, do you think that crypto mining is mostly dead? Yes. Monero's never. So I gotta answer this in order. Library was retarded. They should have picked Monero. The reasoning is because they're retarded. I will always be 99 cents for my membership. I don't even expect people to do it. Crypto mining is dead in the sense because you're facing like super high companies that have unlimited money. But Monero mining is awesome since it's CPU banned. So I give you 99 cents and you give me XMR. That's a good trade. Monero mining isn't a profitable. It's a profitable mining currency. It's really to decentralize the network and to secure the network to help prevent a 51% attack. It's not dead. It's dead for normal people. It's getting centralized, and there's no way around it. Um, those with better access to cheap hardware will have advantage, especially with ASIC. The issue with ASIC is you're competing against really high-profile, complicated, expensive equipment that you don't know if it's going to ever pay off. You're taking a risk. You don't know when upgrades are going to happen. You don't know. You don't know when forks are going to happen, and it's going to kill your profits. You're competing with million, if not trillion-dollar companies, like BlackRock level companies. That's the point. Cryptocurrency and crypto mining Monero isn't about profitability. It's about decentralizing the network, and it's about securing the network. That's the point. Exactly. When you buy an ASIC, sometimes they use it before selling it. Yeah, you don't know the I'm not saying don't mine. I'm not saying don't secure the network. You should run your own node, and you should mine Monero because it allows you to obtain it in a private manner, even though if it's not a lot, and it allows you to secure and decentralize the network. What's up, Coacher? Yo emoji, yo emoji, yo emoji. So, like, when you buy an ASIC, at the end of the day, behind of all its intellectual property, it's the reason why hardware can't be more decentralized. Everyone blindly trusts. And do you know which way I can on-ramp to Monero nowadays? If you download the Monero GUI app, same problem with internet backbones and phone baseband modems. I mean, technically not. Yes and no. Phone baseband modems, especially on Graphene OS, mainly on the Pixel series, it is sandboxed, so it's probably the most secure system that you can use. Monero, if you want to use Monero and mine it, the Monero GUI official wallet is the best option that we have. Some things in society will be proprietary, especially on a security side. There is some validity to the security section when it comes to software. If it's known how it works, it could exploit it. I think it's somewhat of a cope, but I get where some of these software companies are coming from. When you look at Cubes OS does incorporate some proprietary code at the core level, and because of that, it does not pass the GNU test of free and open source software. Is Cake Lab good from the Play Store? Yes, of course. I mean, the Play Store offers you. How do I explain the Google Play Store to normies and people that are like not schizophrenic and uneducated? Is the Play Store is you can verify the application signatures, which give you the known source, and it is somewhat more secure, where other applications don't give you the signed application and source, where you are taking a risk and a gamble that it is maybe malicious. So, security by obscurity, right? I wouldn't say it's obscure to get it from the Play Store. The Play Store has a pretty good integrity check, especially in Graphene OS. Graphene OS makes sure that the signatures and the matching of the application is valid. They have a pretty strict process to make sure that it's coming from a valid source. Does that make it perfect? No. Does that mean bad software can slip through? Of course. I mean, we live in the real world. I'm not sure. Oh, Monero from Cake Labs? Yeah. That's fine. What do you think about F-Droid system? They have reproducible builds and 9 verifiers. From what I understand is F-Droid, we're going to pull out something called the convenience store theory. F-Droid, you have the Play Store knows you're entering the store, but beyond that doesn't know who you are. But you know it's a licensed business. It's a licensed business. F-Droid, you don't know if it's a licensed business. It doesn't know who you are, but you don't know if the source, the products that you got from it are valid. The verifiers are kind of silly, from what I read. Windows scary. Ugh. Hiccup's gone. So, like, F-Droid, you don't know you don't know who owns the convenience store. You don't know where they get the products from, but they don't know who you are. Google knows your IP address and small identifier information, but you know where they get the source from. You know what they do. You know what they do with the source code. F-Droid has undergone some good security extensive research, but in reality, you might as well just get a dump Google account. Make sure that you're getting timely updates, and you're getting make sure you're getting timely, proper updates and patching, and to make sure that you're getting it from a secure source. This is why a Crescent is an option. A Crescent exists for a reason, and people should donate to a Crescent to make sure that they exist for tomorrow, because they enforce to make sure that they are getting it from a verified source. I mean, remember seeing that versions of Telegram that banned specific groups while their APK from other websites from the Play Store. Do you? Yes. So, like, when you get it from the Play Store, you have to go through like a process to submit an application to Google. I'm not saying every company is good. Every company has good intentions that malicious software can't get through. But Google has a pretty strict, regime on how they accept applications, how they make sure that they're from verified sources, and how they plan out to be. I mean, the average person isn't going to go check the signature from the application to make sure it matches a database and that it's clean and not from a unverified malicious source. We need to think of the average user that isn't doing PGP verification on their software, vice versa for Linux. The problem with F-Droid and the word store is you don't know where this source code is coming from. Just because F-Droid says they verified it doesn't mean they do verify it. Yes, but after you do, you can't control what Google does to the APKs and the servers by order of institutions. The issue with the Telegram version I mentioned was that the Play Store, the app from Telegram's website was good. I wouldn't use Telegram though. Telegram does no form of universal end-to-end encryption. It's owned by a huge tech monopoly that's Russian, and they don't do beyond the end-to-end encryption. There's no really good reason to use it. Nothing else changed other than what is Google. We can even look at this. No, me either. But that's this whole nother can of worms. I mean, actually, you do know what Google does with the APKs. I mean, well, they can't do anything. If they were to modify or change the APKs, you would be notified. You would be notified of it. No, me neither. That's the whole. The system automatically deletes the download APK to free up space, while the app itself remains on the device. If you manually install APK, the file stays on the device until you delete it. Try installing application through other means from the Play Store. If the app matches the APK version of the Play Store will recognize it as installed. You can even update the Play Store. Even if you get to the store on a separate device, it will recognize the install. If you don't trust the Play Store, then you should try removing it entirely. This is true if you've ever tried to install into different versions of applications on Google. Why the same Android works differently. Trying installing applications, side-loading Android app requires extra steps after APK change. What APK file? APK files are safe to install. I think the ones I'd ask is the way to verify an APK from the Play Store is not already altered by Google after development. Actually, that already is a thing. If you think about it, if the APK gets involved, you would be able gets altered. You'd be able to install it on, and this is just how my brain's working. You would be able to install it on a different profile or a different from a different source. If it's altered, it's going to be a different APK. If it's a different APK, that means it can't be installed. Try installing the same application on two different profiles and it will reject it. And actually, if Google probably has, in my opinion, I think Google doesn't even have access to the APK after it's been installed. And I would say even APK modification would probably be much harder than anything else. So they can alter the sign and all the good. Well, developers can. I mean, developers can sign the application. If it gets modified or altered, I'm assuming that something would trip the system, especially if you try to validate it. It's like APK signatures. I submit A to the Play Store, and then they make it A+1 and then sign it. I don't think that's how it works. I'm almost 90% sure that it isn't. I would definitely look into like how APK signatures work on Android in general. Android is free and open source, and not only free and open source, software works like accordingly. And even if like the APK from the Play Store works, how would it be altered by Google if you got from like a pure APK site? It wouldn't really make sense that they could alter it, because that would require like a way to alter like the software itself before it's installed. And I could even say that like the altercation could be deemed non-intrusive in a sense, but I would have to look into that. It'd be an interesting thought experiment. All right, guys, I have stayed an hour and 5 minutes into the YouTube universe. I appreciate everyone stopping by and proving to YouTube and Google, my overlords, that I am a real person and I don't care or hate any of their policies. I love all of them. Make sure to comment below. As far as I understand, that's how it works. No, is when the dev submits it to Google to be published in the platform and give the code, not the APK. The Google reviews it and builds it and signs it. Might be for sure. We'll dive deeper in the next video, because Google needs to know I'm a real person. I appreciate everyone stopping by, subscribing, and thinking of their thoughts, because these are good questions to ask, because if you don't ask these questions, you don't know, which is kind of lame and kind of gay if you don't know. And most importantly, I will see you guys in the next video after I go out and fight 2 Texas Rangers with my fist. I will see you guys in the next video. Nice man, looking forward to watching it. I appreciate everyone. Make sure to comment below your favorite type of cactus. If you don't, 1,000 years of bad luck. I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you. Bye.